Hey there, how's it going? Crypto Sage here, bringing you the promised TA video for Ampleforth. I appreciate you guys hooking me up with those 10 subscribers. That's an awesome response. Thank you so much. I am going to break this video down into two parts. The first portion of the video will be me explaining my charting style. The second portion of the video will be the actual TA. So looking at the chart here, we can see that we have a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different lines, some broken, some dotted, these random triangles. So I'll kind of explain this chart so it doesn't look weird. So my color coordination system is monthly is black, weekly is purple, and daily is red. And just as a rule of thumb, monthly is stronger than weekly is stronger than daily because the longer the time frame to establish a support resistance or trend, the stronger the support resistance or trend is. So here we have our black resistance lines, which means monthly resistance lines. We have two support monthly lines and two resistance monthly lines. On the weekly side of things, we have two what were support lines, but they're broken, which is why they are dashed the way they are. And then there is also a weekly descending triangle trend. On the daily side, we have several resistances that have been broken that were once supports. We also have a whole bunch of supports under us that have never been tested. We have a descending triangle, and we have a tested support line. This is different than the broken support line because when the price came up, it bounced off of it. Now, as a rule of thumb, when it comes to tested, untested, and broken support / resistance lines, they still have influence, but a untested is stronger than a tested is stronger than a broken, as a rule of thumb. But keep in mind, they still have influence, and an example of this is this weekly support line that broke here, and it comes up, comes down, and even though it had the price move past it a couple times, you can see that it still had influence when the price came up in this area right here and bounced off of it. So that's just an explanation that they still matter, even if they've been broken in the past. Okay, so that explains my charting style. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at where we're at and get some TA going on. So here we go. We came down, we bounced off of, well, we established this monthly support line, and we didn't push down to the expected support line, which would have been the daily from back in July, which kind of signals some strength in this area that we weren't able to come touch it here, and we established a new support line. That establishes that we have some buying strength in this area. And then we came up, we found this resistance line here that was established back in August and came back down, forming the descending triangle. Now, we have some downward momentum here. We are approaching the monthly support line that we established. Now, this monthly support line is only 6 days old, but it's a monthly support line, so I'm giving it kind of a medium strength. And even though this is a daily support line, it's been established since July, so I'm giving it medium strong support. So my expectation, and this is a maybe, this isn't an absolute, is that this area, I'm going to watch and respond as time goes on. I'm not going to just assume that because it went into my area that there is strength there. I'm just establishing the area to say this is the time to be looking for strength, and that's what we'll be doing. And that is anywhere from essentially where we're at down to this daily support line at the 67 million range. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually set a higher low, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised and that would be a signal of strength moving out of this area. I also wouldn't be surprised if we come down and bounce off of this untested support line, change it to a tested support line and move on from there. And I think worst case scenario, we could go down and visit this 67 million support line. I would be very, very surprised if we go any lower than that. It's possible, but I feel like would be a niche occurrence. Now looking on the upward end, we have several resistance lines above this, all of which have been broken until we get up to the 44 million range, in which we have a tested resistance line. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of different things happen. Let's say that we come down and bounce off of this support line here. We could find ourselves in a range with any one of these resistance lines, something like this, something like this, something like this up on this higher one. And our best case scenario would probably look something like this, where we bounce, we have some testing time here, have some testing time here. This is a pretty good move here. There's no resistance in this area. If you can catch this, like look at this, this could be repeated here. You could get a lot of gains without a lot of resistance. But our best case scenario, I feel, is coming up and testing the weekly descending triangle. I would be pretty surprised if we do anything higher than that, and I'd probably be even surprised if we get up all the way there. I would expect one of these resistance lines to show impact. But my feeling is that the next big move that Ampleforth is going to make is when we break this weekly descending triangle. I wouldn't be surprised to see something along the lines of pulling up here, coming down, and then having our breakout eventually. And from there, I think it'd be a reasonable expectation that we get to this 46 million and above. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate the support I was given from my first video. Thank you guys so much. If you liked this video, go ahead and leave it a like. I am thinking about creating a video on Ampleforth as a project and its pros and cons, its use case, things along that nature. If you'd be interested in it, show me by subscribing or liking. If I get either, let's say 15 likes or 20 subscribers, 220 subscribers from this video, then I'll go ahead and release that video. Alright guys, appreciate your time. Have a good one. Later.